What's your view, Scott, on the fact that, as far as we can establish, there has been absolutely no attempt even to find out, even just to throw out the question there to Derek McInnes?
I'm just staggered, honestly, absolutely staggered. I mean, I actually checked again the day, just because I still can't quite get my head around why Rangers wouldn't at least make a call, to Derek McInnes or his representative.
Back channeling or something.
Just find out.
Even if you don't, even if you're the sporting director or the chairman, and you maybe don't think he's your number one candidate, or you've maybe got doubts, I just don't know how a club like Rangers, when they look at the Premiership table and see the team that's sitting top, and it's a Scottish manager who's part of 9 in a row at Rangers, has proven himself to be a top manager in Scotland. He knows the league inside out. He knows Rangers inside out. We're led to believe that if you had to pay any compensation, that fee would be in and around 500,000, which isn't kind of too high. I wouldn't have thought for Rangers to go and pay if they really wanted them. I just don't know. I feel as if people aren't doing their jobs properly by not at least making that call. I mean, somebody said to me the other day, saying, but it'd be really hard to get him out. And I mean, what happens if they go for him and then Derek McInnes doesn't like what he hears and he pulls out, and that's another rejection? And me or Keith could find it within the hour.
One phone call
on the QT whether Derek McInnes is interested in the Rangers job. I mean, you don't need to make a public announcement about it. You can go and find out before you make the approach. But how a call's not been made to Derek McInnes, I don't get it. I mean,
what do you think that's down to, Scott? That they've overlooked what's on their own doorstep?
Honestly, I think it's down to a bit of arrogance, a bit of snobbery about Scottish football. We've spoken here a lot about Rangers signing a players, the kind of recruitment policy going down to England, Championship, League One. Anybody in the Premier League, anybody that's played a game in the Premier League must be absolutely going to rip it up, the Scottish Premiership at Rangers. It's that kind of attitude.
The worst performing manager in the history of the English Premier League. Yep, bring him in.
Exactly. And the reluctance to sign Scottish players. I think this has been going on for years, by the way. This isn't just that.
Yeah.
So Martin, Kevin Thelway, this has been going on for years. Where there's been a reluctance from Rangers. And I think my only theory on it is that this runs deep. And I know there's been different regimes, but this to me goes back to 2012 when the club went down to the 3rd division and it felt as if every other club was ganging up on them. It's almost like we will never give money to any other Scottish club again for a player, because the reluctance to go and sign the best Scottish players compared to years ago under Walter Smith and Alec McLeish and people like that, when it was it was standard for Rangers to go and pluck the best Scottish players for other clubs in the league. You think about Lawrence Shankland, you think about Lewis Ferguson, for instance. Even this summer, when you look at Josh Mulligan, Lennon Miller, people like that, who I think would have been 100% good enough to play for Rangers, a real reluctance to go and get them, to go and get the best and spend serious money. And it feels a bit like that with the managerial situation. I don't, for the life of me, don't understand why Derek McInnes wouldn't be high up your list of candidates, especially when you consider the fact that we know some of the people they've been speaking to down south, with all due respect, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, that to go and speak to somebody like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and think for 1 second that he'd be better qualified to do the Rangers job than Derek McInnes is just absolutely astonishing for me. Astonishing.
That's a good point. I think I come back to one thing on that, is that Walter Smith years ago identified Derek McInnes as a man that he felt would have all the attributes and the ideal candidate to one day become the manager of Rangers. If a guy like Walter Smith, the greatest manager that the club has ever had, certainly in the modern era, makes that kind of conclusion, reaches that conclusion about somebody, then who are the people that are in there just now to say that they know better than the club's greatest ever manager to know what might constitute a good Rangers manager? I think that's the really staggering part.
And look, just to clarify, in the comment section, Keith Stephen says, he's sure McInnes was approached in an unofficial capacity, and he's stressed he's not interested. But as far as that's not the case, is it?
Now, as far as I'm aware.
I don't believe that, Daniel.